Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up! It is your host, the one and only, a Real Dorkie Hero. We are talking today about reboots and how they're not exactly necessary. Not everything needs to be rebooted. Not everything needs to be brought back to life. We're not talking about the show that was on Toonami back in the 2000s, I think it was, or the 90s.
Toonami's all digital. Coming up next.
Big X90.
Yeah, that shit was Canadian and it was weird as fuck. Yeah, man, not everything needs to be redone. Like, a perfect example would be the kaiju and the tokusatsu properties, the franchises. I guess the best way to put it is in Japan, they've had like one continuity for Godzilla. It's been like one whole series the entirety of its existence. Here in America, we dropped the ball pretty hard. With that ugly ass raptor version that they wanted to call Godzilla, we know now, we know better. His name is just Zilla, because good fucking grief, dude. Then they rebooted it, I want to say, in 2014, so it was about 16 years, because the first one came out in 1998. They rebooted it in 2014, and I haven't seen that one. I've heard a lot of good things. You know what? Amendment. People say things, they're like, oh, it was good, it was whatever, blah, blah, positive. The one thing I needed to hear was that he doesn't have much screen time, and the thing that we all went to the movie to see doesn't happen until the end. And that for me was just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just wait till that gets uploaded to YouTube and I'll watch it there. Super Sentai has lasted 40 plus years, and I don't want to say they've gone through any reboots, because they haven't. They've just been refining the formula with each one, and gosh, it's gotten really good. The themes have suffered a little bit, but the show is better. Like, we are right now about to start our 4th dinosaur incarnation, and the costumes look like shit. Power Rangers has been around for 26 plus years though. So Super Sentai has been around 40 years, we've been around 26 years, and I don't want to say they've endured any reboots either in the main continuity, but as far as the films go, gosh. Well, the first two were in the same continuity, like Mighty Morphin with Ivan Ooze and shit. That was the 95 movie.
Did it look something like this?
Ew, gross.
And then a couple years later they did Turbo, which, believe it or not, exists in the same universe, but it's just a vastly different movie. The first Mighty Morphin movie, it looks like they're fighting in roller derby gear, and then in the second one, in the Turbo movie, it looks actually like the suits that were used in the show.
Him! You've got to fight the evil! Evil is like evil does.
And then there was the 2017 one, which actually was a reboot, because it started with the same concept, but reimagined. They had the core 5, all of them with the same names, just the ethnicities were switched around, except Jason, he was still white.
Did you just slap me? I did. Weird, right?
And then, of course, there's the franchise that makes us twitch whenever we hear the word reboot, Spider-Man. There's been several versions of Spider-Man. We've had Tobey, we've had Andrew Garfield, we have had Tom Holland. It is the flagship failure for the word reboot.
Stay with me, stay with me. Stay with me, stay with me. You stay with me.
People are not enjoying Tom Holland the way that they should, because we've had so many. We've been exposed to the character that many times. And that's kind of what makes me so uncomfortable with reboots. Like, I feel like things need to slow down and just not happen as frequently. My older brother always loves to say, measure twice and cut once. I feel like that's what we should do going forward, but it is Hollywood and people are in it more for the money than they are for the storytelling. Except for the Russo brothers. I love you guys. Another one was the Powerpuff Girls. Of all the properties to take from back then, they took Powerpuff Girls. And there's nothing wrong with that. to reboot, but let me be honest. I was gonna shit talk it, but then I saw this clip.
Heads up!
And it changed my mind. Like, it looks clean, it looks pretty. I just didn't want to watch it because it's just like, this is not my Powerpuff Girls, so I'm just not gonna give it the time of day. And then I saw the kid getting his head cut off, and then I found out later it was a piñata, and that shit had me rolling. And now I kind of want to watch it. I was wrong.
Oh no! My life-size paper mache self-portrait! Aw, now what am I gonna bring for show and tell?
Dragon Ball is another one that I'm concerned with because, well, not even concerned with, because it continued the story. It's just expanded a whole lot. We got new universes, new dimensions, we got gods. Me, I found that kind of annoying that they introduced gods because everything that I was afraid would happen when you do that has happened, which is more power levels, more exaggerating, more screaming. It was just it's a bit much. Like, they expanded a little too much, and I don't know, it's fresh, it's fun, but where do you go from there? Like, you've created 2 new Super Saiyan levels, 3 when you count Broly's. It's starting to, well, it already lost its mystique, its shine, its sheen, whatever the term is. It lost that in the Cell Saga because fucking Trunks came and he could just do that shit, whereas Goku had to lose. Well, Trunks did lose people, but we didn't see that. We didn't know that. If you didn't see the History of Trunks movie, you don't know where the fuck this kid came from, why he can do what he does, and why he was able to destroy the strongest villain in the franchise with a fucking sword in a few seconds. That's not what this video is about. There has been a great number of things to come from rebooting stuff, like rebooting movies and franchises and video games and series. It's not all been bad. I guess my problem though is I feel like all we're doing is rehashing things. We're recycling. We're not being innovative. I'm grateful for the MCU, but the stories being told are being told about characters that were created 50 to 60 years ago. How many movies are we seeing now with fresh faces? The other day I talked to you guys about Deadly Class and how I wanted that to become a thing, and it is, and it's being directed by the Russo brothers. I still haven't seen past the 2nd episode because Amazon, I'm not paying, $25 for the whole season that I won't even get to own. Like, I can't take it with me. If I'm gonna pay $25 for anything, it's gonna be the box set that I can hold in my fucking hands. And knowing you gonna make it like 35 bucks. I guess my point here today is that reboots, I feel like we just need to slow down with those and just tell more stories, tell new stories. Funny thing about that is I'm the first guy to be like, I don't know who that character is, so I'm not gonna watch. But that's how I felt about Deadly Class, and I was wrong. That's how I felt about Black Science, and I was wrong. And I'll be the first one to sit in the theater and give something a shot, except for Shazam. That shit looks annoying. Except for all the DC movies. That reinforces my point. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Dropping Loads P and a Real Dorkie Hero. And as always, until next time, we love dropping loads.